My girlfriend laughed. "You are really wearing that to my company party." She was pointing at my best suit. The one I had spent a month's salary on. I said, "You are right. I will change." Then I changed into jeans, grabbed my keys, and drove to a sports bar instead. When her CEO asked where her partner was all night, she realized I wasn't joking. I am 27, male. I work as a warehouse supervisor. It is honest work. Good benefits, decent pay, around $52,000 a year. Not glamorous, but I am proud of it. I manage a team of 12 people and handle inventory worth millions. My girlfriend works in marketing for a tech startup. She makes about $85,000. The culture at her company is a lot. Everyone is obsessed with image, designer clothes, expensive watches, talking about their Teslas. I met her coworkers a few times. Nice enough, but I always feel like I am being quietly evaluated. We have been together for 2.5 years. Moved in together 8 months ago. Lately, she has been making more comments about how I present myself. Small suggestions to get a different haircut. Asking if I really need to wear my work boots when we go grocery shopping. I let it slide. Relationships require compromise, right? Then came the company party. Her startup was celebrating a major funding round. $40 million. A big deal. The CEO was hosting a party at a fancy venue, and partners were explicitly invited. She had been talking about this event for weeks, stressing about what to wear, how important it was to make a good impression. I wanted to look my best too, so I went out and bought a suit, not just any suit. I did research. Watched YouTube videos about fit fabric, what makes a suit look expensive. I went to a proper men's store with a tailor. I picked out a charcoal gray wool suit, got it fitted to my body, added a crisp white shirt and a burgundy tie. Total cost, $1,247. That is basically a full month of my take-home pay after rent and bills. But when I looked in the mirror after everything was tailored, I felt good. I felt like I belonged somewhere important. I felt like I could stand next to anyone at that party and not be embarrassed. The night of the event, I got ready early. Showered, shaved, put on the suit, checked myself in the mirror about 15 times. My girlfriend was still doing her makeup when I walked into the bedroom. She looked at me, did a literal double take. Then she laughed, not a polite chuckle, a full-on dismissive laugh. "You are really wearing that to my company party?" I stood there confused. "What is wrong with it? It is tailored." "I mean, it is fine for like a funeral or a job interview at a bank, but this is a tech party. People are going to be in designer stuff, trendy cuts. That looks like something my dad would wear. I spent over $1,000 on this suit. It is charcoal wool." "Yeah, but it is so basic. Cannot you wear something else? Maybe that blue blazer with some nice jeans." "You told me it was a formal event." "Formal doesn't mean boring. I do not want people to think my boyfriend doesn't know how to dress." I stared at her. This woman I had been building a life with for over 2 years, looking at me in the best clothes I had ever owned, clothes I had saved for and carefully selected, and her reaction was embarrassment. Something shifted in my chest. The desire to impress her evaporated and was replaced by a cold clarity. "You are right," I said calmly. "I will change." She looked relieved. "Thank you, I knew you would understand. Maybe the navy blazer and that gray shirt I bought you." "Sure." She went back to her makeup. I went to the closet. I changed into jeans, a plain black t-shirt, and my everyday sneakers. I grabbed my keys and wallet. "What are you doing?" she asked, watching me head for the door. "I am going to watch the game." "The game? The party starts in an hour." "Yeah, I am not going to the party." "What do you mean you are not going?" "You just told me I am not good enough to be seen with you. So I am removing the problem." "That is not what I said. I said I didn't want people to think you do not know how to dress." "I got the message. Have fun at your party." I walked out the door, got in my car, drove to my favorite sports bar. My best friend was there. He took one look at my face, ordered me a beer, and asked what happened. I told him. He called my girlfriend a few creative names. Then we watched the game like old times. Around 10 p.m. my phone started buzzing. Texts from her. Where are you? People keep asking about you. My CEO specifically asked to meet my partner. This is so embarrassing. Call me back now. I didn't respond. Turned my phone face down and ordered another round. Update 1. The gaslighting, 4 days later. The conversation when I got home the next morning was about as productive as you would expect. She was waiting in the living room, arms crossed. Do you have any idea what you did to me? She started. I looked like an idiot. I had to explain to my CEO that my boyfriend just didn't show up. This was the most important night of my career, and you ruined it because of your fragile ego. You laughed at my suit. You said I looked like your dad. You said you didn't want to be embarrassed by me. I was trying to help you. I didn't want you to feel out of place. You made me feel out of place in my own home. We went around in circles. She wanted me to apologize for embarrassing her. I wanted her to apologize for insulting me. Neither of us budged. This is called a manufactured crisis. Getty Images explore creating a conflict to distract from a larger issue or to gain control. She picked a fight about the suit so she wouldn't have to deal with me at the party. Finally, she said, "My coworkers keep asking what happened. What am I supposed to tell them? Tell them the truth, that you insulted me so I didn't come. Tell them my boyfriend threw a tantrum because I gave him fashion advice. Is that what you think happened?" The conversation ended with her storming off. I spent the night on the couch. Over the next few days, things got worse. Passive-aggressive comments about everything. My clothes, my job, my friends. Then her friends got involved. Texts from her best friend saying I needed to apologize. Texts from her sister saying I should be ashamed. They had clearly only heard her version. The version where I abandoned her at the most important night of her career because I couldn't handle fashion advice. I didn't engage. On day 4, she came home calm, composed, sat me down. "I have been thinking," she said. "I need a partner who can show up for me, who can put aside his own ego to support my career. And honestly, I am starting to wonder if you are capable of that." I let that sit. And I need a partner who doesn't humiliate me for trying to look my best, who doesn't laugh at clothes I worked hard to afford. I didn't. You did. You left me at my party. Because you told me I wasn't dressed well enough to be seen with you. She stared at me. Then she chose to escalate. Fine. If that is how you see it, then maybe we need some space. Space meaning what? Meaning I think you should stay somewhere else for a while until we figure out what we are doing. I almost laughed. You want me to leave the apartment that we both pay rent for because you insulted me? I need space to process, and clearly you are not going to give me that while you are here. This was unbelievable, genuinely unbelievable. You know what? Fine, okay, I said. She looked surprised. Okay, yeah, I will pack a bag tonight, stay with my buddy for a few days. Thank you for understanding. Oh, I understood. I understood that she thought she could push me out of my own apartment and wait for me to come crawling back. I understood that in her mind I was the one who needed to grovel. What she didn't understand was that I was done groveling. I packed my stuff, went to my buddy's place. "So what is the plan?" he asked. "I do not know yet, but I am not apologizing for having self-respect." Good, you shouldn't. If you think I made the right move by not going to the party, hit the subscribe button. We talk about self-worth and boundaries here on Story Sparks. Update 2. The truth. 8 days later. Things took an unexpected turn. I had been keeping a low profile at my buddy's place, going to work, avoiding social media, not engaging with any of the flying monkeys she sent after me. Then I got a call from her coworker. Her work friend, someone I had met a few times. She reached out through LinkedIn of all places. Professional, discreet. "Hey, I know this is weird, but can we talk? Coffee maybe. We met near my work." She looked uncomfortable. "I need to tell you something," she said, "and I do not want you to think I am trying to start drama, but I think you deserve to know." "Okay." "At the party, the one you didn't come to, something happened." My stomach tightened. "What do you mean?" "Your girlfriend spent most of the night with this guy from product development. They were close, like really close, people noticed." "Close how?" "Dancing, sitting together during the speeches, laughing, touching his arm. Doing that thing where you lean in too close when you are talking. That could just be networking. It could. Except at the end of the night, they left together in his car. The words hit me like a physical blow. She said she took an Uber home. She didn't. I saw her get in his car. A bunch of us did. Nobody said anything because it is awkward, but after I heard what happened with you guys, how she is saying you abandoned her, it just doesn't sit right with me. Why are you telling me this? Because she has been trashing you at work, saying you are controlling, that you couldn't handle her success. And I am sitting there knowing she got in another guy's car that night. You seem like a decent guy. You do not deserve to be the villain in a story where she is the one who. She stopped. Who cheated? I finished. She nodded. I do not know for sure what happened after they left. I just know what I saw. I thanked her, made her promise not to reveal her as the source. Then I drove back to my buddy's place and sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes trying to figure out what to do. That night I texted my girlfriend. We need to talk in person tomorrow. She agreed. We met at a coffee shop. Neutral territory, so, she said sipping her latte. Are you ready to have a real conversation? Yeah, let us start with what happened after the party, she blinked. What do you mean? How did you get home? I took an Uber. Why, you are sure about that? Yes, what is this about? Because I heard you left in someone's car, a guy from product development. Her face went through a rapid succession of expressions. Surprise, confusion, calculation. And then for just a flash, panic. Who told you that? Does it matter? Yes, because it is not true. I do not know who is spreading rumors, but multiple people saw you get in his car. He offered me a ride. My phone was dead. I couldn't get an Uber. You have a portable charger in your purse. You showed it to me last month, she faltered. It wasn't charged. This is insane. You are accusing me of something based on office gossip. I am asking you a question. You are the one who is not answering it. I did answer. He gave me a ride home. That is it. We are coworkers. Coworkers who spent the whole party together dancing and touching. Are you seriously doing this right now? You abandoned me at that party, and now you are trying to make me the bad guy. I am asking what happened. Nothing happened. He drove me home. I got out of the car, end of story. I looked at her for a long moment, 3 years together, the apartment we shared, the future we talked about, the life I thought we were building. I do not believe you. That is your problem then. Maybe, but I am done either way. Done with what? With us. With being your scapegoat while you do whatever you want behind my back. I am done, she laughed. That same dismissive laugh from the night of the party. You are dumping me because of some rumor. You are insane. Maybe, but I am also leaving. I stood up and walked out. She followed me into the parking lot yelling about how I was making a mistake, how no one would believe her crazy ex-boyfriend over her. I got in my car and drove away. Final update. The resolution. 11 days later. The fallout has been a lot. After that conversation, I went back to the apartment to get the rest of my stuff. I brought my buddy as backup. I packed everything that was mine, clothes, books, the suit she laughed at, my gaming setup, kitchen stuff. Took about 3 hours. I left my keys on the counter and walked out. I found a new place subletting a room from a coworker. Then the messages started. Not from her directly, she had blocked me, but from mutual friends. I heard you accused her of cheating without any proof. She says you were controlling and paranoid. I cannot believe you would abandon someone at a work event and then dump her when she is already hurt. The narrative she was spinning was creative. I will give her that. In her version, I was the insecure boyfriend who couldn't handle her success and made up cheating accusations because I couldn't cope with being less than her professionally. This is DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. I didn't respond to any of it, but something interesting happened about a week after the breakup. Her coworker, the one who told me about the guy from product development, reached out again. I thought you should know. It is official. They are together now. She announced it on Instagram. I didn't look. I didn't need to. The relationship she had been building behind my back was now her public relationship. The guy from product development was her new boyfriend. Probably had been emotionally for months before that party. And the suit incident, the laughing, the insults, the demands that I change, that was her creating an excuse to go alone, creating a fight so she could spend the night with him without me around, creating a narrative where I was the bad guy so that when it all came out she could say I drove her away. It all made sense now. Here is the thing though. Understanding it doesn't make it hurt less. I still wasted 2.5 years on someone who was capable of that. I still have to rebuild my life from scratch. But I also know I made the right call every single step of the way. When she laughed at my suit, I chose self-respect over accommodation. When she demanded I apologize, I refused to take blame for her cruelty. When she kicked me out, I left instead of begging to stay. And when she couldn't give me a straight answer about that night, I walked away for good. Some people have asked me if I regret not going to the party, if maybe things would have been different if I had just swallowed my pride and showed up. Honestly, no. If I had gone, I would have spent the night watching my girlfriend flirt with another man while pretending everything was fine. I would have been the clueless boyfriend in the corner while she built the foundation for her next relationship. Instead, I was at a sports bar with my best friend watching a good game and enjoying myself. Given a choice, I would pick the sports bar every time. The suit, by the way, it still fits perfectly. I wore it to a wedding last weekend. Several people complimented it. One woman asked where I got it tailored. I gave her the name of the shop. Then I had a great time at a party where nobody was embarrassed to be seen with me. That felt pretty good. Thanks for following along, everyone. Your comments kept me sane during some really dark moments. Special thanks to everyone who told me I wasn't crazy for leaving. I am going to log off for a while and focus on putting my life back together. New apartment, new routines, new chapter. The suit is coming with me. Thanks for watching.